After these two teams played maybe easier opponents last week, how much can you learn about a team from a measuring stick like this game?
From this game, or you're saying
this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. To have a big non-conference matchup like this at the beginning of the season is a huge gauge for how good you can be the rest of the year. And that's why even, no matter what anybody says about whether or not it's a real rivalry in the tradition that's there, you're two good football teams, and you'll know how good after this game.
How fun is it to come to an environment like this? I know you go to big games all the time, but in the biggest stadium against these two teams, how fun do you expect to have tomorrow night?
This one's special. I was here all week doing some all-access stuff on Wednesday. You can always tell from talking to the players how big it is, because I don't care what their coach tells them to say or whatever. You can tell in the excitement of a player how big the game was. And I was talking to Devin Gardner on Wednesday morning, and you could tell, I mean, he was like a little kid. He was talking about growing up in Detroit and how he watched this game. And for me, even growing up in Phoenix, this was one of those games that, you know, Keith Jackson be a big ABC game, and everybody got to watch. If Notre Dame Michigan was on, you were going to watch that game. So I think all the excitement that builds up to it is almost as fun as the game ends up being, just because everybody gets pumped up for this one.
I don't know if he posted it or if you did when you said it. Did he say that? I don't know. You said he was the coolest kid you've ever interviewed, or one of the
that
coolest?
is a lie.
No, he made that up.
He's making up quotes for me now. You know what? And don't tell him this is a secret right here. He is one of the most fun kids to interview because he's just so himself. You know, he can't not be. And I'm sure sometimes Coach Hoke wants him to settle down a little bit, but he's just such a charismatic, fun-loving guy that it makes it fun to interact with him. And we have a feature on Devin that we'll show tomorrow for game day that will definitely demonstrate what I'm talking about. Shows just kind of the fun side of his personality, so that'll be good.
When you travel, you know, from school to school, from site to site, you know, what are the differences maybe, you know, in one school or one site versus another? Maybe what's the commonality between everybody who's gone to see this?
The best thing about college football to me is that you can tell when you're on campus. Even if you just woke up in the middle of campus and nobody told you where you were, you'd be able to figure it out because it represents the culture of that area. And to me, that's what separates college football from even the NFL, because you get more people from all over the country obviously playing for NFL teams. But in college, so much of it is about representing that community that you really, I mean, I was talking to one of our guys last week because we were at Clemson. You know, all the guys at Clemson, this is totally a stereotype, but are wearing the Sperry's and have their hair done a certain way. Well, you're not going to see the same thing. I mean, from school to school, you're representing different communities. So it's kind of cool to see the different aspects to American culture on different college campuses.